Hello guys, welcome to another Jarrow Vikings Insane Angling. Today I'm going to talk about products you can use for fishing in the summer. Firstly, I'm going to talk about boots. You really need some grippy boots for fishing on the rocks, which is mainly my thing. And the rocks in Britain, especially in southeast Scotland and a lot of the other areas of Scotland, are basically volcanic basalt, and they're black, and as soon as they get a little bit of water on them from a bit of swell or a little downpour or whatever, they go like ice. Absolutely really slippy and dangerous. So you don't want to be standing on them fishing in those kind of conditions, especially with a pair of trainers on or just slippy boots. What you really want is a pair of boots with studs in. And over the years I've tried quite a few different types of boots, from the bison boots with already got studs built in. I've tried all sorts of different little studs and never really found anything perfect up until now. I used to use a Dunlop safety boots, quite a good boot really for the studs, but no good for long treks because they have a steel toe in, which kind of gives you blisters on your toes. Not good. So this year I decided to have a really good look around for a good decent pair of boots. I had a look at Carrymore, I had a look at Mendale boots, cost a fortune. But as you know, in a lot of my other videos, I like to try and save a little bit of money and get the best value I can. So here's a review. I looked all over on the internet, and the best boot will come up for the price was the Hi-Tech Ravine. So I get the Hi-Tech Ravine out of the box. These came yesterday, and straight out of the box. To be honest, I'm really impressed, over the moon with them. We've got really chunky soles, which is what you want for to put studs in. I'll show you how to put the studs in shortly. Made from high class leather, easy to clean and polish. A really good looking boot. They have really good reviews. Apparently they've been tested for weeks on end in the Scottish mountains in all sorts of conditions, and the guys who tested them were experts, said really good. 70 quid I paid for them from Blacks. You can get cheaper boots from Sports Direct, like the Carrymore Hot Rock. I can't say I can recommend them, I've never used them, but quite a few people recommended them if you want a cheaper boot. I'll bring the boot up to the camera. You can see in the light there, really chunky soles, really thick, and that's what you want to put a stud in. You want nice square chunky bits to put the studs in. Here's one I studded up earlier. You can see straight in there, big square blocks on the studs. As I say, I'm going to show you how to put the studs in and get you a few more pictures of the boot, and I'll put a few links on the video. So that's the boot. As I say, I'm going to show you how to stud them. Also, I was looking for a really good waterproof jacket. I've been buying some lately for about 20-30 quid, and they've been rubbish. They've lasted as one season. So again, a good review I found on the internet was from Decathlon. Quite a cheap shop to go into. And apparently these jackets, the Decathlon MH500 I believe, I'll tell you if I'm wrong about that, their own make, Quechua, is I think how you say it, Quechua. It's again reviewed by experts who say that this jacket is Really good, really waterproof. It's got a high hydrostatic rating, which means not much water is going to get through. Got a really good hood on it, which a lot of manufacturers seem to fail in. It's got a peak on it, covers your head perfectly, and it's a really nice light jacket. 85 quid, which I suppose to me does sound a little bit expensive, but to be fair, if you're going to a lot of the mountaineering shops these days, you'll be lucky to find a jacket under 200 quid. So yeah, there's the hood up. All I need to do is pour a pint of water on my head and you'll see it's nice and dry. Something I'm not actually going to do. So we'll take that back off and we'll get into the boots shortly anyway. I also bought a pair of Elasticene waterproof trousers. They were 20 quid from farm shops. These are what farmers use, and they're stretchy, really tough, quite hard to rip. I bought a pair last year, and I was climbing over a fence, and bear in mind I'd been fishing on the rocks for quite a while using them, and I'd never ripped them at all, but I climbed over a fence and I snagged it on a piece of barbed wire, which is going to cut into anything really. But apparently these are as good as Gore-Tex, and probably about a fifth of the price. So yeah, I'll put a link up to these if anybody wants to buy any. Elasticene. Check them out. Really good stuff. Nice and light. Pack away in your bag perfectly. And finally I'm going to review the Rockfish HTO 8'6" 5 to 26 gram LRF type rod. And also Daiwa Ninja 3000A. We'll get into them a bit later. So now I'm going to show you how to, the main purpose of this video, to show you how to stud the boots up. Yeah, so I've took the boot out of the box now, and I'm going to show you how to stud them up. As you can see on the sole of the boot, got some nice chunky areas. Yeah, this is the reason I bought the boot, for to put studs in. I bought 12 studs for each boot, 24 in total, and it cost me £16, which is pretty reasonable, I think. Supertrax studs, 3000A. These are made by a company in Edinburgh from hardened tungsten, and these last forever actually. These will probably last longer than your boot. They do go a bit rusty, but as soon as you go out walking in them again, the rust comes off. So, really well made these. Now I'm going to show you how to put them into the boot. I'm going to put this one in that square there for an example. So on the bottom of the stud you have like a disc with a twirl in, which when you put into the boot digs in and it finds its way into the boot. It's a little bit tricky, you need a little bit of strength to put them in, but I'll show you how to do it. That is the business end, yeah. That's the tip, which will keep you safe in any type of slippery rocks if it gets wet. So what you do, the tool, which costs £9.99, which you really need to put the studs in, has like a U shape on the very end here, and you fit the stud in upside down with a point into the tool. You have like a couple of slots on the end of the stud, and it slots into there. So we'll go for it. hopefully you can see. So I'm going to stick this stud into here. You just twist, you use quite a bit of force. You have to be pretty strong. It doesn't go in straight away. You just keep twisting. Here we go. I can see it's starting to dig in there. You keep going and keep going until maybe it's a little bit further. What you want to see is the round disc of the stud and the tip. So if you can see that, that's a perfect way to fit it in. You don't want to go too deep or you won't have really good traction with the spike. Spikes sticking out there, I would say probably about 4mm. And these just will not pull out. If you buy a good boot like these Hi-Tech Ravena are, they just won't pull out of the boot. This sole, it's really strong. It's hard, really hard wearing. That's what you want to put your studs in. If you buy a boot which has a really soft sole, like really rubbery sole, they will eventually pull out, but even then they are quite tough to get out. But I would recommend buying a hard sole like this. So we'll have a go again. I'll put another one in. Like I say there, into the U shape of the tool. A couple of grooves. So I think this time we'll stick one in the bottom. Sometimes drop out the tool, as you just seen. So yeah, we'll stick this one into here. That's it. Use a bit of force until you finally get that bit purchase and it starts to dig in to the sole. Once it starts digging into the boot sole, it goes in pretty easily. There we go. As I say, I've got 12 studs for each boot. I'll finish that one off later. Here's the one I done earlier. I could possibly have put a few more studs in, but I only had 12 in for each boot. But I'm pretty sure that'll be fine. I like to have one at the front, because as you go down hills, that helps give you a bit of grip. Few on the sides, few in the middle. Ideally I would have probably put another stud here and another stud there. I may take some out of my old boots. The studs in there aren't too bad really, and put another one there and another one there. But I do like to have a stud at the front and a stud at the back. Gives you a little bit more grip on the rocks. So yeah, that's how you do it. It's as easy as that. Studs are pretty cheap. Did I say the tool's about $9.99? Might have went up a little bit. Not much, I doubt. So well worth having. And as I say, if any guys from Tyneside would like to borrow the tool, just give me a shout. I'll either drop it off for you or send it in a post, as long as you can send it back to me. So that's the boot review. Hope you're happy with them. I'm really happy with them. I can't wait to get out fishing with them, which should be in the next month or two. It's see, it's coming towards the end of February now, and fishing for me normally begins, the lure fishing anyway from the rocks begins in April. So it shouldn't be too long before I get out again. So put them away over there. Now we'll have a quick look at the Ninja by Daiwa 3000A. Heard a lot of good things about this reel. Normally I go for Shimano reels. I have used a few Daiwas in the past, and I do own a few Daiwas. And on first looks, it's a lovely reel. Some bonny colours on it. Comes with a spare spool, which is always a bonus. This is a 3000A size. I wanted a smaller reel for wrasse fishing and fishing in close. Maybe it's even flounder fishing with this. But what a smooth lovely reel that is. Really, really nice. I think I paid about £50 for this, again from Blacks, which I say is normally a mountaineer and clothing store, but they do a little bit of fishing gear, pretty cheap. Bonus, as I say, spare spool. Now on that spool I'll probably put really heavy line on, 30 to 40 pound break and strain for the wrasse down the side. And I'm going to try a little bit of bass fishing this year and a bit more pollock fishing. So on this reel I'm probably going to put something a bit lighter on. Maybe it's 15 pound on, so I can cast lighter lures a little bit further. So yeah, definitely recommend them. Really, really good. We'll put that back. Close the box later. And finally, going to have a look at the H2O rockfish rod. I've never used the H2O rod, which I think are made by Tronix Pro. This was 44 quid. But I reckon I could use this for bass fishing, pollock fishing. Well, for smaller pollock anyway. I would like to catch a 10-pounder on it. But my main thoughts were wrasse fishing. This will be a cracking rod for wrasse fishing down the side on the rocks. Be great fun, really good fun. Yeah. 8'6", which is 2.65 meters. 5 to 28 grams. Aye, seems like a well-made rod. Again though, all the suppliers now, especially for spinning rods, are making the rods with these stupid eyes on, which are quite easy to break off. Single foot eyes. They should really, if they take my advice, they should still be making them like they used to years ago with 2-foot eyes. And then we're not going to break them off on the rocks. I'll bash them about all the time as I'm walking off rocks, and it's not long before the eyes actually break off. Yeah, so so I hope you've had some good tips there anyway, some stuff to buy possibly for the summer, and definitely get yourself some Super Trax studs. I don't actually work for any kind of tackle company. I don't get paid for this. I don't make any money at all off YouTube. So I'm just giving you advice of what I think's best and really good stuff. So I hope I've been of help in this video, and you get yourself out fishing soon in the spring and summer, which I can't wait for. It's been a very long winter waiting to get back out with the lures. So look forward to some of my new videos, which will be coming up probably April onwards. And give me a thumbs up, give me a like, give me a comment. I always like to read the comments. And as I say, tight lines, enjoy your fishing, lads.